Today's weed video will be focusing on horsetail, a persistent weed that can be tough to control in field crops. Horsetail is very recognizable by its baby Christmas tree-like appearance. The green bushy weed consists of leafless branches that are held together by nodes on the main stem of the plant. Horsetail can occur in thick patches that can blanket the ground and outcompete crops. Horsetail reproduces both sexually and asexually. The green tree-like plants are the sterile vegetative parts. The fertile structures are grayish-brown cones that look a lot like pale asparagus. These cones can grow up to a foot tall and produce spores that have special leg-like structures, allowing them to travel on their own, making this weed even more persistent. Horsetail can also survive by deep rooting systems known as rhizomes, making cultivation a poor option of control because these breaking apart of these rhizomes will allow more plants to regenerate. Controlling horsetail is concerning in pastures, hayfields, as well as field crops. In hayfields, it is particularly concerning because it contains high levels of silica, and when baled and dried in large quantities, it can be toxic to horses and sheep. In field crops, it can outcompete and choke out small seedlings early in the season. As mentioned before, shallow cultivation is not a good option for control. Rather, burning or cutting the fertile stems to keep spores from spreading. Using herbicides to control horsetail is quite dependent on the crop being grown. Trials conducted by Peter Sikkema at the University of Guelph found that a product with high levels of NCPA is best for controlling in winter wheat and hay crops, but you must make sure not to cut hay for at least 7 days after application. Post-emergent herbicides are your best option for control in corn. Tank mixing a group 2 with a broadleaf herbicide like Altum and Peak Plus will give you your best control with results of 91%. Control in soybeans is less effective, but for best control, a tank mix of glyphosate or amitrol with broad strike dual magnum to give you about 85% control. But this needs to be applied pre-emergence, so before crop is out of the ground. As with all herbicides, it is important to follow the label and use recommended rates. Unfortunately, these herbicides will give you some top growth control, but won't kill the deep-rooted system. Your best option is to manage the reproductive stems. Improving drainage is also an option in trying to get rid of the wet conditions that these pesky weeds prefer. And this concludes our video on horsetail.